My name's Nile Smith and I'm a pathway planner stroke trainer at Intequal. Well, to be fair, before Cognassist we would generally have to sort of play it by ear, I'd say. So if you picked up something whilst you're with them, great, but obviously you've got to try it. It's quite a sticky subject to just bring it up out of the blue, because A, they might not want to tell you, which is fine, you know, they don't have to tell you or divulge information to you. So it's almost like trying to second guess yourself, is that, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And and then normally what I try and do is adapt when I next see them to see if that works any better or get any more engagement from them. But obviously having something clear cut from the start would make life a lot easier. Absolutely, I can think of one very big case. So I used to have a learner down in Bournemouth. He suffered from ADHD as an example, and you know, his concentration wasn't always quite there. So we had to I had to meet him eventually outside of his workplace, and I met him in a library, booked out a room in the library, went there for a whole day just with him, giving one-to-one support with his portfolio, just because it was a lot easier than being in the busy workplace, because he got distracted quite often, and it just didn't help him concentrate on what he needed to achieve. So we sort of went about it that way. Once we found the first couple of tries it wasn't really working, and his employer was happy with that as well, so it worked quite well, yeah. Yeah, so what we do at the moment is, obviously I'm the pathway planner, so I would go in and carry out like an induction visit, and that's where we'd use Cognassist as for the first time, and it's right at the start. So what it helps us do is identify any sort of learning needs that learner may need from the get-go. So obviously if I'm looking after a digital marketer, I know straight away what I need to do for their training sessions, and I have a list of the group. So that really helps me prepare in advance for the whole year, basically what they would need. And it just creates like communication straight away as well, like this is how we're going to try and adapt to help you out, and they also get set some tasks to do which will help them all throughout their journey with us. I 100% think it will have an impact on learner outcomes, mainly because they're learning sort of soft skills as well as applying knowledge that they're gaining from both our training sessions as well as doing the tasks themselves into their coursework and into their everyday sort of lives, I would imagine. But especially in their training sessions, I feel like they're gaining a lot more confidence to actually take part a lot more as well, because it's more targeted to them. I think that builds up confidence, and then they're willing to talk amongst their peers and get involved a lot more, rather than sort of, because also we do remote training, it's hard to try and sometimes get them to use their microphone, shall we say, and I think this has helped gain some confidence, get them to talk as well, which is really good for us. So endpoint assessments, obviously, it can be quite daunting for learners, mainly because, especially in the digital marketing case, they have to do a synoptic project, which is an assignment that they've not really seen before, and you've got to try and convince them that, you know, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's only really another project that you've done previously, but in a scenario-based way, and getting them prepared for that, and obviously the skills you've built them up to and the confidence you've built up for the whole year is really pivotal really for them achieving that and going into that confidently. Also, they've got to do an interview. Now, obviously, with the skills that they're picking up with the remote training, them getting more involved, I try to portray that, you know, it's just having a discussion with me. You didn't know me for the first time when I met you. You was quite shy. Look at how you talk to me or anyone new now. And Cognassist has helped build that up along the way. And that generally helps them in their interviews as well. Because again, that's with someone they don't know, is an industry expert, and it can be quite daunting, as I said, yeah.